My name is Miss Caroline. I am the children's librarian from the Coolidge Corner Library in Brookline, and I am so excited that you are joining me for our last ideaSPACE Craft Along Junior video of 2020. Thanks to all of your enthusiasm and the fantastic response to this program. It will be continuing in the new year. So thank you everybody for your support and for coming along with us as we make fun crafts at home with the library. All right, fantastic friends. So today I'm going to be walking you through our monster jaws creation craft. You can follow along if you signed up for and have your Craft Along Junior kit that you picked up from the library when you reserved your ticket. Or if you just found us on the internet, or if you did not manage to reserve a ticket for a kit in time, you can still follow along and craft with us using materials that you have in your own home. All right, fantastic. So if you are opening up your kit, you should find 8 wooden popsicle sticks, 7 metal brads, and 2 pieces of construction paper. This craft does require everyone to use some home materials that are very common. You need some light construction paper. So I just have some old cereal boxes that I'm going to be using for this stage of the craft. You are also going to need a pair of scissors, some glue, and a responsible adult to help you with the cutting. All right, fantastic. So why don't we get started? Here is my workspace right here. What we're going to do first is we are going to cut our cardboard so that we can begin to make the shapes that we're going to need to create our extendable monster jaws. Okay, so what you're going to want at this point is a straight edge. I do happen to have a ruler right here, but you can use any straight edge that you want. So you can use the edge of another box to make your lines here if you would like, or whatever else you happen to have in your home. You can also just eyeball it if you want. The edges don't have to be perfectly straight, although it may help if you are particular in that manner. So what we're going to do is we're just going to make I am a little particular in that manner, so I am going to make sure that we have nice and trim shapes. We're going to cut out 6 straight edges. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, and then skipping to the other side here. 5 and 6. Fantastic. All right. So now we're going to cut along these lines, and if you are skilled in using scissors, you can certainly make your own cuts, but I recommend that you ask that responsible adult who is with you to help you out at this stage, because sometimes scissors can be a little pokey, and it's best to just not put yourself in a situation where you need to worry about making a bad cut or accidentally cutting yourself. So better to just spare yourself that concern and get your grown-up to help you. So during this stage, you might also just want to think about what kind of fun monster you are going to create with these extendable jaws. I think I am going to make a dragon, but there are many different types of dragons, and you can choose to draw whatever kind of dragon you would like. You can use your imagination to create your own imaginary monster if you would like to do that. If there's a non-traditional monster you want to draw, maybe a fun winter monster because it's so snowy outside, or perhaps a nice sunny monster who might be vacationing here from some faraway place. Whatever strikes your fancy. Okay, so now I have cut out my cardboard strips. And at this stage, what I recommend is you take your construction paper and trace these shapes onto this construction paper and then cut those out so that you can have a monster with some nice bright colors. If you don't want your monster to be any particular color, or if you would like to, if you happen to have crayons or pencils at home and you want to hand draw your monster, you can skip over this stage. But I think I just like the color purple, and that happens to be the construction paper that I have. So I am going to go with a nice purple dragon is what I'm going to draw. And I may embellish later on with maybe I can draw some spots or some scales on my dragon. Would be pretty cool. All right, here we go. One more. Doop-a-doo. Okay, and then I'm going to just be very lazy and kind of hold my model up. Looks like a line that goes across that way, just so that I can size this correctly. There we go. All right, fantastic, friends. So I hope that you are coming up with some fun ideas for your monster. I am getting pretty excited about mine. So I have been looking forward to doing this craft since we started, and I had to wait a long time because I knew this video was going to be made in December, so I have been anticipating this particular craft for a very long time. And I'm very excited to be sharing it with you all now. If you have any sort of holiday accessories, you can maybe make some fun accessories for your monster. Or if you just want to make your monster a fun winter hat or scarf out of some scraps of material perhaps you have lying at home, that would be a great, fun idea. You can deck your monster out so that they will be protected against the winter cold. That would be a very lovely and caring thing to do for this monster that you are creating. Here we go. Doop-a-doo. The fun thing about this is it does use very simple materials that people have at home, and so even if you did luck out and get one of our kits, you can still use this video to remake this craft with new supplies as many times as you want. So if you wanted, you could have a whole menagerie of monsters if that was something that you were interested in. You can just decorate all around your home, which would be pretty cool and fun to do. We also have a whole roster of fun ideaSPACE kits for the spring that I am getting very excited about sharing with you. And those will all be coming in the new year, which is pretty great. Here we go. All right, so now I have covered all of my pieces in the color of construction paper that I want. So while this glue dries and becomes a little bit more stable, I'm going to set these aside and I'm going to design the head of my monster, which I'm very excited about. So let me see, what kind of dragon head do I want to draw? Let me think. Well, the main thing to remember for these jaws is that you are going to be making the upper half of the monster head and the lower half of the monster head to separate, because you want your jaws to be able to chomp down, because that is what jaws do. So you're going to want to create two separate pieces. Here we go, and I am going to, this time, I'm going to try, so that I don't have to cut the same thing out twice, I'm going to try gluing my paper, my colored paper, directly onto the surface of my work surface, the surface of the cardboard that I'm working on, before I cut out, so that way I won't have to retrace. This is just going to be an experiment. We will see if it is successful or not. A lot of times when you sit down to make things, you don't know if they're going to work or not. That's why it's always fun to try new things out. And if it ends up not working out, that's okay. You still learned how not to make the thing that you want to make, which is also just as useful as learning how to correctly make a thing, because it helps you hone in on the right answer by learning how not to do a thing. All right, here we go. Okay, my monster. Okay, how about I'm going to make his lower jaws look like this. He's going to have teeth like that. There. And upper jaws. Let's see, I'm going to give him eyes and a snout. Like that. Okay, and he's going to have fancy eyebrows like this, and eyes like this, and I'll give him a nose like that. He is a sleepy monster. He's going to have bags under his eyes, because I think we all know what that feels like. Okay, so there we go. There is my monster jaws. Now I'm just going to, so there's what my monster is going to look like. Now I'm going to cut him out. And remember, these are two separate pieces. One piece, two pieces. Here we go. And I am working pretty quickly because I want to make sure that you guys get to enjoy the whole video, and that it doesn't take too long for you to watch it. But by all means, feel free, if you think you need more time than I am taking to make your monster, you can spend whole days designing what your monster is going to look like if you want to really dedicate the time for that. So let me just show this here for you really quickly. These are just guidelines. You may not even want to do a monster. You might want to do something that's more gentle. You could do a favorite pet. You could do a robot hand if you wanted to make like an extendable arm that you can use. That's also, you don't have to do an animated creature if you don't want to, if that's not what strikes your fancy. And like I said, these are all pretty common materials. Everybody has, or at least many people do have, cereal boxes or cracker boxes or things with this very easy to use cardboard at home. So you can make a monster, or you can make two monsters, or you can make a monster and a robot, or whatever you choose. Okay, so here we have my monster jaws, which are just going to sort of hang out here. Now we're going to go back to these pieces right here. This is a time when you're going to want to grab your responsible adult to help you again, because what you're going to do is you're going to drill little holes inside of your the spars that you have cut out of the cardboard. And I'm going to make a very simple little template here, here, and these mark the places where you are going to fit your metal brads through. So what I'm going to do is I am going to once again turn to my scissors to make these little snips for the holes that I want. You can also use, if your cardboard is a little less manipulatable, you can use, your responsible adult can use a screw to sort of screw or drill the hole in there, or you can use a screwdriver, which is handy and has a nice handle to protect your tender skin as you are trying to make these holes. But this cardboard that I used for my chocolate-covered strawberry box is pretty easy to poke little holes in, so I'm going to do that. You can even, if you don't want to use something sharp, you can even use, I'm going to take the pin that I was using and just poke a hole through using the tip of the ballpoint pen that I was using, which is also an option that you have available to you. All right, friends, now here comes the fun part. We're going to take these metal brads here that came in your kit, and we are going to put together the pieces. What I have found is easiest is if you start with, you pick up two of these construction paper pieces that you have cut out, and you start and make an X. And you separate the legs of the metal brad like that, so you have a nice X that moves like this. Excellent. Now what you're going to do is you're going to get another X, and you are going to drill, or rather you are going to put these pieces here. Excellent. Like that. Now what you are going to do is you are going to join these two X's together. And you're going to take one, put it in one end, another, put it in the other end, spread those pieces apart, Take another brad, stick them in the hole at the other end of those two X's, and separate those legs for that brad. Okay? And so now you see you begin to have something that extends just like this. This is going to be a lot of fun. It looks perfect. I am so happy. Now what you're going to do is you're going to make another X. So you put one on top of the other, stick it through the metal hole. Boop, boop. Spread those legs apart. Excellent. Then you're going to take your other brass fastener, your metal brad, and poke it through the top hole here, through that hole here, and then let's see, it looks like one of my brads have fallen to the floor, but that's okay. Let's see if I can find where it rolled off to. All right, friends, well, it has fallen to the floor, but that is okay because if you don't have a metal brad, or if it has one of the brads that came in your kit has rolled underneath a chair, you can always use a paper clip, and you can bend it in such a way that it will poke through the holes for you in the way that you need. So I am going to do that. And then maybe for the finished piece, I will get the brad that fell to the floor to show you. So you see how this works. The little improvised paper clip that I unbent works just as well when it comes to extending the dragon. But here we go. Here's the brad that fell to the floor. Because I just want things to look neat and match up, I am going to take this improvised paper clip out and put the brad that I want in place. There we go. Excellent. And so now we have our extendable dragon, which is very exciting. Okay, friends. All right. So why don't we now, we're going to do one of our final steps. There we go. We're going to do one of our final steps, which is to glue on the face of our dragon, which is going to be very exciting. So here we go. Now I'm going to take my dragon, and I cut him out so that this is going to be the correct end for my dragon. So there we have that. What we're going to do is, this is just going to be very simple. We're going to glue this little guy on. So I'm going to get my glue, put glue here, doop-a-doop-a-doo, all set. And I'm going to glue him down here, doop-a-doop. And I'm going to glue this bit right down here. And so you see, we have our extendable dragon chompers. Doop, 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 doop. Hooray! If I was going to really dedicate some time to this, I would color in his teeth, and I would draw lots of fun scales. But for now, all I wanted to do was to share this fun video with you today. So here are my chompers, woo, and I hope that you enjoy them. Now I do want to point out, I think you saw my chompers did flop around a little bit like that. That is actually exactly what we have these popsicle sticks for. If you would like to reinforce your the spars that you have in your dragon, you can glue these popsicle sticks onto the back of your extendable dragon, which will give it extra reinforcement. If you either don't have a construction paper that is strong enough, or if you just don't enjoy seeing this extra floppy extra floppiness in your monsters or your dragons. You can use those popsicle sticks to reinforce your dragon in that way. All right, friends, I am so excited to have shared this craft with you. I've been looking forward to making that craft all fall long, and I hope that you join us next year for a lot of more fun making kits. All right, I'll see you later, friends. Goodbye.
Thank you all so much for crafting with us today. We would love to see what you made with your kit, so please feel free to share your project with us on social media using the hashtag #MakeYourOwnStory. We're so thankful to our sponsors for helping make this project possible. The ideaSPACE program is funded in part by the Brookline Library Foundation and with federal funds from the Institute of Museum and Library Services, administered by the Massachusetts Board of Library Commissioners. If you didn't get a kit this month or would like to craft along with us again, our next reservations will open up on Eventbrite at 7 p.m. on February 4th. From all of us here at the library, we miss you and wish you happy making.